Well, hi everybody. It's Dr. Christine Anderson. I am a chiropractor, a homeopath. I'm board certified in pediatrics and pregnancy. I'm certified in childhood developmental disorders. I am a neurologically based chiropractor, meaning that my primary focus is your brain. So this is what I'm always focusing on. This is what I'm evaluating and I'm looking at and finding things for you to be able to do not only in my office but in your own home, because the consistency of activating your brain is sometimes more important than anything else. So I want to talk to you about BrainTap, and I've got the headset right here. So it kind of gets weird sometimes with the camera. So there's the BrainTap. This part goes on your head. This part goes over your eyes. Here's the inner part. And I'll show you what that looks like in a second when it is hooked up to my iPhone. Here's where the eye lights are, and then the ear lights will be in here. So this is a really cool piece of equipment designed and developed by Dr. Patrick Porter. And there are so many aspects to this that it seems very simple, but it is so effective. So let's just dive right in here. And what is BrainTap? Well, it's a simple method for retraining your brain. It's an effective mind-body tool, so connecting the mind and body because they're not separate, and it repatterns your thoughts and emotions. So sometimes we get in this groove of how we're thinking and also how we're acting. And this is a way to try to retrain that, refocus that. You can overcome the ill effects of fight or flight, which is the sympathetic response in the body. And this is a stress response that has physical and emotional and mental ramifications that can be life-threatening, and I will come back on at some point and talk about the stress response evaluation I do, and I've written a thing called Does Stress Kill? Because this is something that can really wreak havoc in your body if it is left long-term. So stress in the short term is going to be okay. It's going to be useful. It's going to get us out of the way of danger. It's going to protect us. But if we're constantly triggered by stress, this is what is going to create dis-ease in the body, symptoms, problems, and it ultimately, I mean, something is, we're all going to die, but really this is going to accelerate that process. It can help you achieve physical, mental, and emotional balance, promote a relaxation response, reverse actually the effects of stress, and relax, reboot, revitalize. And this is my favorite part, and I'll talk about that in a moment. So let's go on and talk about the different programs. So I've got my phone right here, and of course it's going to reboot now. So the program is rebooting, and because I had this all ready to go, of course, okay. And then, of course, I wanted to. So first of all, there's an intro to brain tapping on here right at the top. So you get an intro to what this is. And then on here, I'll read these off because it's kind of hard to see it on my phone. But they're listed there on the slide. Helping with sleep, weight wellness, optimal health, stress-free me, worry-free me, children and learning, wake up, go to sleep, brain tap retreat, and then there is a whole series of brain wave like theta and delta and alpha. These are different brain waves. If you are, let's say you're working with me to help accentuate, let's say you're too much in your theta and we want to bring more of your beta. which is more of your awake brain. So I will tell you which programs to do for that. And then there's hemispheric training with the right or left brain. And I talked a little bit about that in functional disconnection syndrome. So this is particularly important with what I'm doing with that and neurologically based chiropractic. But you can see there's something here for everyone. And what I do, and I love about this, is that I create a library. So down at the bottom here, there's my library. And when I click on that, I've got programs already downloaded so I can keep my phone on airplane mode so I don't have to have that Wi-Fi right on me when I'm using my headset. And then I just plug my headset in. And even though you can use Bluetooth with this, I don't recommend it because you don't want to put EMFs right into your head. So I do recommend having the plug and plug that in. So let's go on. There's a couple of little facts about BrainTap. It just really takes a very short period of time. Now the programs are going to run, there's a couple that are like 10 or 11 minutes. So if I only have a short period of time, I'll do those. But optimally, I like to do 20 minutes. And when you notice a lot of the meditation, TM, Transcendental Meditation, they usually do 20-minute sessions. So I love to use 20 minutes if I can. If not shorter, that's better than nothing, right? But this is actually going to help blood flow get to your brain. And with blood flow comes oxygen, which we need to function. It's going to come nutrients and it's going to help remove waste products from your brain. Things like serotonin it's a neurotransmitter, is going to be released. And serotonin is one of those sort of chill out neurotransmitters. Think about tryptophan, which is the precursor to serotonin. And we all know, like after Thanksgiving, I don't eat turkey, but those who do have a big tryptophan buzz and they feel like blissed out, right? So serotonin is good, and other beta-endorphins, which are feel-good hormones, get released when you are using BrainTap, and it's going to make you feel relaxed but not drowsy. And one of my favorite things to do is use this after lunchtime, especially if I'm working and I've got a full afternoon ahead of me. I don't like to use caffeine. I don't like to use stimulants like that. So I'll do a BrainTap session and I feel relaxed after, but rejuvenated and alert and ready to go. So it's a really cool thing. And if you haven't experienced it and you live in LA, I will treat you to a session in my office. So in general, people who use BrainTap are reporting better sleep, feeling more energetic, optimistic, better sense of well-being, because it's helping with what's going on in the brain, which controls everything, right? This makes sense. All right, so when you use this regularly, and you can use it first thing in the morning to wake up, you can use it midday to reboot, you can use it at the end of the night for sleeping, and if you wake up in the middle of the night, you can use it again to go back to sleep. There's different programs on there, so you pick the program that you want to use, and you can help if you've got these issues. And of course, this is just touching the surface. This helps so many things, but definitely with those unwanted habits and behaviors, it's helped people with stopping smoking, overeating, fears, anxieties, that negative mind monkey chatter. Those are repetitive thoughts that keep going and they kind of mow a little path in your brain, and we want to retrain that. And this is a great way to do it with very little effort, I have to say. And if you're having trouble doing things like meditation, this is a great tool to help, because sometimes for me, when I go to sit and meditate, it is hard to quiet my mind. I have to admit it is. And I'll try and deep breathe and whatnot, but I can just pop my headset on and pick a program, and it is just such a useful tool. Not only that, but people who regularly use BrainTap are going to have enhanced memory, focus, creativity, and energy. Why? Because these things are coming from the brain. I mean, this is the whole basics of it. So let's, how can you experience BrainTap? Well, first of all, I'm going to put an affiliate link in the description for you to be able to purchase your own headset. If you are in town, sometimes I have extra ones in my office and you can just buy them from me. But otherwise, it's easy enough to go there and it'll link you right to the website and you buy your headset. And then you go and download the BrainTap Pro app, put it on your phone or your iPad or something like that. And then you're going to choose your subscription. Now, they've got the different subscriptions where you can either, like if you're just interested in sleep, you can just get that sleep prescription or subscription, I should say. If you're just interested in the stress-free, you can just get that, or you can get the whole bundle. So I've only worked with the whole bundle. You'll have to go on and see how much they are. I think like for each category, it's about $10 a month. And then if you get them all, it's greatly discounted, like $30 for all of them. So well worth it. We're all used to subscriptions now, so it's not like a huge deal. And like I said, then you are going to choose when you want to brain tap, how long you want to brain tap for, and the more you do it, the more it's going to create those new pathways in your brain, and the better you are going to experience the benefits. Now, I'm going to also put a bunch of written information about what all this is, because there's a lot that goes on here with this. It's a proprietary neuro algorithm, and I don't want to bog you down with details in this particular presentation, but I'll put some in the description. I'll link to my website page where I'm going to put this information talking about the binaural beats that are used. So that's the tonal therapy, and explaining how when these two different tones that are separated in frequency kind of come together, it creates an effect in the brain. And you know what? Really, frankly, I don't understand all of it, but I do know it works. And I want to show you this, this really cool tool. Some of them are just music, some of them are guided visualizations. So there are different programs on there, and you just have to see what you like. All right, so I'm going to attempt to get to my full screen. Let's see what happens here. And I'm going to show you what this looks like. All right, so I'm going to plug this into my phone. And of course, I just used this after lunch, so I do know it was working. But we're here live, so let's see what happens. All right, so I'm just going to go to my library, and I'm going to. One of my favorite one is there is a Zen Sync 20-minute meditation. So I'm just playing that. Okay, so it's playing right now. You're not going to be able to hear it because it's in here, even though I think I have this all the way up. But I have to turn this on, otherwise you're not going to see anything. All right, so here are the eye lights. Okay, now I can make these eye lights have more. Look at that. Okay, so there's, woohoo! And typically when I reboot, I put this on blasting. At nighttime, I might have it down on 1 or 2. There's like 4 different levels. So this is super huge amount. So let me tone those down a bit. And then you can see the ear lights. And you think, what the heck? Why are there ear lights? What does that mean? Well, your tympanic membrane, believe it or not, in the ear, there's connection to your cranial nerves. There's also blood supply. And those cranial nerves are connected right to the brain. Not only that, but you have auricular therapy. So, sometimes you'll have people work on different parts of the ear. Some acupuncturists, they'll work here or put some needles in there because there's a connection to the rest of the body. And again, I don't need to know what all those points are. I just know this works. And so, I just put this on. Now I can hear. Woo! So I would just leave it on there, And, you know, sometimes I will fall asleep with it on. And the great thing about the neuro-linguistic programming when Dr. Porter is speaking, there's also another person that does some of the programming, but I usually pick him just because he has this kind of calm voice. But he will say at the end of the program, if this is a time when you are supposed to be sleeping, you will go into your deep delta sleep. However, if it's time for you to, come back, you're going to come back. You're going to feel refreshed, renewed, awake, feeling great. And then he usually says something like, and so it is, or something like that. So, if it's specific for sleep, it probably will just go into the sleeping pattern. So you can just drift off to sleep, and then usually I'll wake up and kind of take my headset off. But this is BrainTap. Super simple, super effective. It can be used by children, and it's just sort of dictated by the size of the head. This alters for it alters for the size of the head, and definitely for school children who are having trouble with memory or learning or focusing, clarity, along with some of the other things that I do, like the sensory motor exercises and the interactive metronome I talked about. This is another tool that can be used, and even along with things like bio and neurofeedback. So that's it. If you have questions, you can always contact me. Again, I'll put my info in the description. If you want help with the aspect of in your life about what you're doing with your health and wellness, and you'd like some guidance, I would love to help you with that. And like I said, if you would like a BrainTap, I'll put that affiliate link in the description, and all you have to do is click on it and it will take you over to the website shop. So that's it. All right, have a great evening and have a great Tuesday and week, and I will see you next week on Dr. Christine Anderson Chiropractor. All right, bye.